Hey guys, Scott Fishman here. I thought with the new show House of Villains coming out in a couple of months, who better to talk to and catch up with than arguably, I don't know if it's arguably or not, but the best heel, the greatest heel in reality TV. He also, big pro wrestling fan, has done a lot in pro wrestling as well. Jonny Fairplay, how are you today?
Surviving.
Surviving, I like that.
Yeah.
So first, I just wanted to reflect on, a recent event that you were at with your daughter. There was a video that you shared with Cody Rhodes. A lot of people talking about the connection that he has with the fans, and you were there, seeing that how the impact he has with kids and just the reaction whenever he interacts with them. Tell me, as you look back at that, just how did that feel, that moment to share that? I love how pro wrestling is like cross generational, so that's why I kind of bring that up.
So I have two kids, but I was actually with Jesse from season 43 of Survivor,
Oh,
and
okay. Sorry about that.
and that was his son Gio, who has long hair. But Gio was recently on Mr. Beast, the 1 in 100, and Gio was number 10. And no, I'd gone to SmackDown. I had amazing seats, as you saw, and the dark match was Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. And so afterwards, we had gone. I'd gone to the Monday Night Raw. This was in Raleigh, North Carolina, the SmackDown. I'd gone to Monday Night Raw in Greensboro a couple months prior, and at the end of the show, Cody did the lap afterwards, to sign and do selfies and stuff. And the talent handler was like, "You got 3 minutes," and Cody gave him the angriest look. He goes, "No, I don't." He was like, "I'm here till we're done." And I was like, wow. I'm like, little stuff like that just goes so far. But so we're in Raleigh for SmackDown, and I it had been a couple of months, and I guess he had been given uh the memorandum that how about just a half lap, Cody? That's pretty good. I mean, you're like, this is still going to take 10-15 minutes. A half lap is great. So he had gone to the other side from where I was. And so security comes over there, over to us, and goes, "You guys can leave. He's not coming. He's only going to do that side. There's no point waiting. He's not coming over here." And this was security for the PNC Arena in Raleigh. And then someone from WWE is walking by, and I was like, "Hey, can you tell Cody that Fairplay is on the other side, and I have a kid?" And she's like, "Absolutely." So she goes over. He looks back and gives me the nod, and I was like, "Don't go anywhere, folks. We're good." So he came out. Like, not only did he say hello to Gio and give him a few just incredible seconds, but he was just like, "Give me that kid," and he puts Gio up on his shoulder. And I mean, and Gio had gone into the evening, and he's like, "My favorite wrestler ever is Sami Zayn. Like, no one's better than Steve. I love Sami Zayn." And we laughed. He goes, "Cody Rhodes is my favorite wrestler from now until forever." And
He knows how to do it. Yeah.
I was like, God bless Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Just that connection. It's just awesome to witness. Tell me, as you still have this connection to wrestling. I just saw a TMZ article, where they're talking about cracking a tiki torch over wrestlers at a strip club in Tennessee.
Yeah.
How does it feel to kind of be associated when you see these headlines? I mean, you kind of feed off of it too. I mean, you take the pro wrestling side and then bring it into the entertainment side, and then you see what happens. It's all about kind of making the headlines, right?
Sure. I mean, like when I did my first season of Survivor, I'd never seen Survivor before. So I went on eBay. I ordered every episode. This was 2003, so it was VHS. And so I'm watching the show, and casting's calling me. They're like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "I like the real world better. Like, I like fights and threesomes and hot tubs." So like, your show kind of sucks. And so prior to Survivor, I'd grown up a wrestling fan. At the age of 4, my dad took me to the Greensboro Coliseum, and he was like, "Root for the bad guys. The good guys are pussies." And this is 4-year-old Jonny Fairplay becoming Jonny Fairplay right there. So my favorites back then were Ric Flair and Roddy Piper. Like that was the end all be all. Like I had the Roddy Piper's greatest hits on Coliseum home video, and I I probably burn a hole in it. I watched it so many times. I mean, I just love like that's who I could identify with. Like, I'm just like, the the good guys are kind of lame. The bad guy they're multifaceted and they have they're they're not really villains in that they believe what they're saying and they have a moral code to them that is different than others, but it makes sense to them, and they can justify internally everything that they do. Ric Flair needs to have the big house on the big side of town. Roddy Piper believes that Hulk Hogan is a bad person and he's here to save us. Bobby Heenan, I have an autographed Bobby Heenan picture, right? His moral compass was Hogan is bad. I'm saving the wrestling world from this horrible person. And so I could identify with that, and Andy Kaufman was a hero of mine. So when I did my first season of Survivor, I wanted to bring in this larger than life character. I wanted to bring in the first ever villain in the history of reality television, because prior to me, there were villains, but they didn't see themselves as villains. So I'm like, I do. Like, here's the
You
bad
embrace
guy.
it.
Yeah, enjoy. And Stone Cold had the double middle fingers, and DX had the crotch chops. So I did the F the Y, you get the fair play in between. And I own that. When Survivor came out, I copy wrote the cross arms and the double fingers, and Gatorade did their X Factor ad campaign, and they just did the X above the head or whatever. And my entertainment lawyer sent a cease and desist letter, and they stopped the ad campaign. I'm like, no, just wet my beak.
I was gonna say, you just want a little money there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then Chuck Liddell started doing that, and they're just like, hey, and I'm just like, do not send Chuck anything. And I ended up meeting Chuck Liddell at a Spike Video Game Award party, and I told him that, and he was like, "Oh, I would have found you and killed you." I was like, "I believe you, Chuck." And so me and Chuck are good. So, but no, it's that embracing that bad guy persona and the entertainment value of that is something that I strive for in my first season Survivor. I feel I accomplished that, with the dead grandma lie and all that. But over the years, when these opportunities present themselves, run with it. Why run away? Because all it leads to is more money, more fame, more shows, bigger house, and an incredible game room like you see behind me.
Of course, you parlayed your success on Survivor with TNA, Impact Wrestling. You had a good run there during the Asylum days.
Well, I don't know if I had a good run, but I
Well,
was there.
you were there, yes.
my,
But you had
my,
some memorable moments. You worked
my,
with,
my wallet says I had an amazing run, but looking back, and I'm like, they used me 8 times.
but actually I remember years ago, like it was like spring 2004, I think, and I was at the Asylum. I spoke to you before a show. I think it was when you were bringing in Lex Luger, or you're working with Lex Luger, AJ
Yeah,
Styles.
sure.
When you look back at that time and see, all it's been through, are you surprised at all that we still have an Impact Wrestling, and your thoughts on just its evolution and where we see it today?
It's like a cockroach that won't die. So no, God bless them. I mean, like I appreciate the opportunity. After my first season of Survivor, I was offered a 4-month deal with WWE, and to come in at WrestleMania. They gave me a couple different scenarios, and then TNA offered me a 2-year deal for $300,000 at Creative Control. I was supposed to be one bump a year. The first bump wasn't going to be for like 6 months. I got a 5-star hotels, first class airfare. I got insurance. I got a cell phone. It was insanity.
Wow.
And so, like, I really wanted to do WWE. Like, my dream as a little kid was to do the Greensboro Coliseum. Like, that's my Madison Square Garden is the Greensboro Coliseum. It's 40 minutes from my house to this day. And I knew if I signed that TNA deal that wasn't going to be a possibility. And my manager's like, $300,000, dum dum. You can go to the Greensboro Coliseum however often you want. And so I went, and I guess Jarrett didn't like me and didn't use me. And so I still got a check every Wednesday. So that was great. But, I really wanted to do more. And then when Dusty Rhodes got the book in Orlando for TNA Wrestling, he's looking through the roster and he's like, "Who's this Jonny Fairplay? And why does he make more money than everybody else?" They're like, "Oh, that's the guy from Survivor. Jeff Jarrett didn't like him." He's like, "Well, he's more famous than AJ Styles. I'll use him." So Dusty brought me in, and then Dusty eventually fell out of favor, and then Jeff got the book back, and I got the all right, see you later. I was like, "Yep," kind of saw that one coming. So I don't know, and the crazy thing was, I always liked Jeff Jarrett when I was a kid. Simply irresistible Jeff Jarrett. Come on.
Yeah. Well, have there been any other opportunities through the years, whether it was Impact or even WWE, where you came close to making more appearances?
I had a couple interviews with John Laurinaitis with WWE. Dixie brought me in a couple more times. Like I remember meeting with Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo. Russo wanted me to manage Generation Me because he said we just can't get anything out of these guys. There's no money there. And I was just like, oh, dear Lord.
What could have been? What could have been?
Can you imagine?
The Young Bucks with Jonny Fairplay. Oh my God.
Oh, and I've done a lot of stuff over the years with like Dragon Gate and Ring of Honor. So I've had my thirst satiated. So I mean, I'm 49. Even when I was 30, every bump hurt. I mean, every single bump hurt back then. And they hurt even more now. So I'm good. I mean, as I said, I get to pick my spots. I mean, like that strip club gig, trust me, it paid a lot of money for me to go to a strip club with my girlfriend and about 15 of my friends and talk a little smack, talk smack back to, and then sneak up behind with a tiki torch and then leave with a pocket full of money. That was great.
So, and you got publicity out of it too. It was a win-win.
Well, that was the frightening thing. Like when you wake up on a Sunday morning at 9 a.m. and hear that you're on TMZ, you're just like, oh my God, what did I do last night? Yeah. So this had been a week prior, and I was just like, whew, okay, we say by the bell.
If you were, looking at the landscape today, if you were to manage a tag team, a wrestler, who would it be from a fan booking perspective?
I would love to manage like a Swerve Strickland in AEW. I think that could be a lot of fun. I mean, if I don't even, is FTR baby faces or heels right now? Do we even know?
I would say baby face. Man, I don't know with everything going on. I don't know what they are at the moment, but
yeah, they're best friends with Punk, who is portrayed as the baby face of Collision, who works
they are popular.
Who works heel every other week. So I don't know. So I think FTR would be a blast. I don't know. I like so many people. Bronson Reed would be a fun one.
I think I've always said like he's great talent, but I think he would need kind of a mouthpiece, I think, to really get him to that next level. So it's funny that you do say that.
Yeah. So, and of course, one of my best friends in reality television and wrestling, The Miz. I think two of us would have a blast together.
Oh, I don't know if the heat would be so.
It's called X-Pac.
Look out.
It's called X-Pac Heat. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
So you were the personal assistant for Roddy Piper for so many years. What do you think he would make of what's going on with AEW? Do you think we would have saw him in AEW? What do you think he would think of it? What do you think of how WWE, the sale? What do you think he would make of everything going on right now?
It's all a work. Everything's a work. It's all a work. Nothing's a shoot. It's all a work. So that's what he would say. It was so funny. I remember there was a SmackDown where this was like 2000, 2001, and Paul Heyman, it was to end the show, and Paul Heyman cut this like blistering promo on Vince McMahon, and it was just so good and so heartfelt, and I'm watching as a fan. I'm just like, because they're kind of like, breaking some fourth wall stuff, here and there, saying a couple things they shouldn't say, but of course, as approved, it wasn't that Heyman went into business for himself. They knew what the interaction was going to be. And I sat there watching with Roddy, and I was just like, man, he goes, it was all a work. All the work. I was just like, okay, never mind, Roddy.
He's still missed, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Lastly, you're coming back with the announcement was made for this show, House of Villains, and I was like, okay, Johnny Fairplay's got to be on, and here we are. And you talk about 20 years and since, and you talk about heels of reality TV, and then all the ones that have come since you. Uh,
Sure.
Talk about just being back in the thick of things after all these years, with all these unique personalities and what we can expect from this show.
Well, number one, I never went away. I mean, like this is like my 90th show. I won Celebrity Bull Riding. I was the first ever co-host on Fear Factor. On Celebrity Fear Factor. I won Celebrity Newlywed Game. I was on Kill Reality, Camp Reality. I mean, I've done shows over the years, and it's been a 20-year run. However, the publicity with House of Villains is insanity. I mean, the season premiere is going to be October 12th, Thursday night. It's a 70. They're 1 hour episodes, but the premiere is going to be 75 minutes, and it'll be on E every Thursday night at 10 p.m. However, the premiere is going to be simulcast on E, Sci-Fi, USA, and Bravo. That's nuts.
Yeah,
I don't think any show in the history of television has done a four network premiere.
right.
And I'll be doing viewing parties. I cover Survivor. I have my own podcast, a reality after show with Jonny Fairplay. Just search realityaftershow.com or go to johnnyfairplay.com for all my links. No H in Johnny. And so I'm doing Survivor viewing parties starting September 27th in New York, and tickets available for that at survivortix.com. But wait, there's more. I'll be doing House of Villains viewing parties all over the country, and tickets for those will become available starting this week at villaintix.com. That's villaintix.com. So I'm excited. Like this fall, like every Wednesday, every Thursday, you're going to see me somewhere in North America. Like I feel like Orange Cassidy. I'm the North American champion. Or no, I'm Dominic. I'm Dominic Mysterio. Here we go.
You're everywhere. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
everywhere.
We'll see. I live in Orlando. We'll see if we get an appearance over here.
I do. I'm gonna be in Orlando. I'm gonna be Fort Lauderdale Wednesday, December 6th, for a Survivor viewing party, and then the next night I'm gonna be in Orlando at the Hearts Reality event, and
Oh, that's a great event. Yeah, a great charity event. For those that don't know.
it's incredible. It's there's what a lot of people don't know is Make-A-Wish families, they get the wish and they're like, okay, well, get here. You're like, we got your wish covered, but you're responsible for everything else. And Give Kids the World, they pick up your entire family. They take you to the airport. They fly you to Orlando. You're put up at the Give Kids the World resort. It's a 24-hour ice cream. There's nonstop cookies. You're there for a week, and you get like a Monday is Christmas. Tuesday is Halloween. Friday is Pirates, Princess, and Superhero Night, in which while we're there for the Hearts Reality event, we'll be there at Give Kids the World Village that Friday, and I'll probably be dressed as the greatest American hero.
Oh,
I will be wearing that outfit for some of the House of Villains viewing parties. So get ready, folks. But,
and it being on these networks, who knows? Who's to say we won't see you on WWE TV with the synergy that goes on, with all these networks. So, I wouldn't rule out an appearance, guys. We'll be on the lookout.
were you saying I should give my good friend Bruce Pritchard a call? Is that what I need to do to make that happen?
We'll see. Maybe after listening to this, you might get the call. We'll see.
So no, I secretly love the charity work that I'm allowed to do. Don't tell anybody; it'll ruin my villain shtick. But no, I love reality television. I love professional wrestling, and the fact that I've had the opportunities and both for going on 20 years now is insanity, and I'm just grateful and thankful, and I appreciate you having me on to pontificate for a few minutes, and I love the fact that people care and listen, and this isn't my only my only pro wrestling talk. I joined Jason Powell over at prowrestling.net for the Boom Live podcast after every WWE and AEW pay-per-view. So this Sunday I'll be having a house full of people. We'll be hooting and hollering watching All In, and then on Monday I'll be joining Jason Powell and saying what I liked and didn't like, and how it was 4 hours too long.
Awesome. Thank you again so much for the time. Looking forward to the show coming up in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, and maybe reconnecting down the line. Appreciate it.
Can't wait. Thank you so much. Go to johnnyfairplay.com for everything.
There you go.